What's up, y'all? Today is a very special day because it is October 1st, or the day before The Life of Showgirl comes out. Yes, I know it comes out on the 3rd, but tomorrow I will be staying up until it comes out, so I will be listening to it tomorrow. So, one more sleep, and because it's the day before Showgirl, I want to do something fun. So, today I will be making a tier list of all of Taylor Swift's studio albums before The Life of a Showgirl, just to kind of like get a gauge of where I am and like what my favorites are before it comes out to see if things change. So yeah, I'm just gonna hop into this. This is the tier list here. It's gonna have no Taylor's versions. It's just like the album in general. I'm not gonna rank Taylor's versions separately, but we got the tiers are S plus, S, A, B, and C. And I want to be upfront and say that these are rankings of my Taylor Swift album opinions like amongst each other. Like obviously, if I was gonna rank every single Taylor Swift album like overall as an album, they would all be an S plus or S. But I want to compare them to each other because if I just put everything in S plus, then it's not an interesting video. So I'm going to be ranking them as Taylor Swift albums, not just as albums. And I'm going to be doing them in order. So to start off, we have Debut, self-titled, which I feel like this isn't that unpopular, but it is my least favorite album. I think for me, it just has the most amount of skips, I guess. It's if I want to do a full listen to the album, I'm probably not going to listen to every song all the time. If I'm listening to Taylor Swift on shuffle, I'm probably skipping about half the songs. And the only songs on it that I always like come back to, the only really songs that I come back to here are Teardrops on My Guitar, Tim McGraw, Picture to Burn, Cold as You, The Outside. And most of the other ones are just kind of like they're there. It was her first album, so it kind of makes sense that it's my least favorite. But yeah, I just don't return to it really that much, so that's why it's in my bottom tier. And it also is my least favorite album. Probably will be the only one in that tier. Up next, we got Fearless, which I will put in B tier. I think Fearless is a really, really good improvement on Debut. Like, it's so much better than Debut. But it's still, like, a kind of genre that I'm less interested in. Yes, Taylor Swift did start out as country, but country is not my favorite genre. I like pop a lot more. So you'll see that some of my favorite albums kind of match my favorite genres. So Fearless, I do think has a lot more consistent quality and a lot better songs. Some of my all-time favorite Taylor Swift songs like Forever and Always, Untouchable, and White Horse are on this album. But it also does have, especially with the vault, which I'm trying not to let hurt it too much, but I'm not a big fan of the Fearless vault. I really just like Mr. Perfectly Fine, and the other ones are okay or bad even. But and there's some mid songs on here, like Coming with the Rain. No no hurt no shade on Coming with the Rain. This is not what I return to a lot. But yeah, so I think it's kind of fair to put Fearless in B tier. And up next we got Speak Now, which I cannot put fairly in the same tier as Fearless, so it's A tier. I love Speak Now. I think the standard version is one of Taylor Swift's best standard versions of all time. I think a lot of the vaults and some of the bonus tracks really were right to be left off the album. So I do think that the standard edition is really good. I do have a couple like songs I don't like as much on it, but there's so many songs on Speak Now that are just some of my favorite Taylor Swift songs of all time. Enchanted, Better Than Revenge, Haunted, Back to December, Ours, If This Was a Movie, Last Kiss. Like, it's so stacked. There are a couple songs that I just find a little bit boring, like Speak Now, title track. I'm not the biggest fan of Mine, but I do love the era. I love the album. Just, it's such a good listen. It was really not done well on the Eras tour by only getting 1/2 songs. But yeah. All right, now we got Red, and we're going to continue the trend of going up a tier because Red is one of my top 5 albums. I just love Red so much. I think it's not only Taylor's best country era, but also has some of her best pop songs too. Like, I love some of the more country leaning songs like State of Grace and Treacherous and Begin Again. But some of the pop songs on that album, like Starlight, I Know You Were Trouble, it is so good. It's also got, still to this day, the best vault with some of my favorite songs like Forever Winter and Babe and I Bet You Think About Me It's actually just an amazing album. And All Too Well. How could I even forget All Too Well? Maybe Taylor's best song of all time. I mean, Red is just so amazing. I really prefer the original cover, and I wish I had a tier list that had the original covers because I don't like the Red Taylor's version cover as much. That might be an unpopular opinion. But yeah, I really love Red, and it used to be in my top three Taylor albums, but I still love it a lot. Up next, we get 1989, which, yeah, I think I'll put it in A tier, lower. I do think I prefer Speak Now a little bit more, just because I think Speak Now has some more standout tracks in 1989, but I do love 1989 and I love a lot of the songs. I think 1989 is definitely her most consistent album at this point. Aside from my couple skips being You Are in Love, Welcome to New York, and How You Get the Girl, I really like this album a lot. It has, while I do think Red has the best vault overall, 1989 definitely has the most consistent vault. There's not a bad song there. All five are good. All five should have been on the album instead of You Are in Love. But I really love the album so much. It has some of my favorite songs, like Out of the Woods and Style. I mean, it has style. I feel like it should be really high up for just having style alone. Not Style Taylor's version. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about her. But yeah, I really love 1989. The era with all the music videos are so good. It's really just such an iconic era, and it really makes sense that it's her best-selling album. I do think there is a sort of there's a little bit of magic lost in the genericness of it. I don't think it's bad, but I do think because it caters to a little bit of a more broad audience, I do think it loses it. I do think it loses a little bit of the magic that some of Taylor's other albums have. I do still really love it, but I do think that could be a reason why it's lower for me. And up next, we got Reputation. Uh, just kidding. Reputation is my favorite Taylor album of all time. I don't know if that'll ever change. She's hyping up Showgirl so much. It might change. It might become Showgirl. But for now, it's still Reputation. I just think that is her best, most consistent, most skipless album. My least favorite song there is This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things. And it's not even a bad song. It's just kind of like not as good as the rest there. There's like no bad song on that album. Ready for It, Endgame, I Did Something Bad, Look What You Made Me Do, King in My Heart, Getaway Car, Dance with Our Hands Tied, Dress, Call It What You Want. Just so many good songs. And I am not like a Rep TV truther. I was until she put out the letter that she bought back her masters. So I'm not like waiting on Rep TV or the Rep Vault. I am really excited for the Rep Vault because those are going to be some amazing songs. But I am more excited for Life of a Showgirl. I see people clowning on Twitter and TikTok right now about the Rep Vault coming out. Like, no, it's the Life of a Showgirl's time. We're going to listen to the Life of a Showgirl, and we're not clowning for Rep right now. I went on a kind of rant there, but Rep is my favorite album of all time. The aesthetics, the music videos aren't actually as good as I wish they were. And I really think the single choices for this album were kind of strange. Like, I don't know why Getaway Car wasn't a single, but I mean, Look What You Made Me Do is still Taylor's best music video of all time. The album is just so consistent front to back. No skips. It's just, I love Reputation a lot, if you couldn't tell. But yeah. Up next, we got Lover, which is definitely an album. Yeah, Lover is interesting because I used to love it, and then as I listened to more of Taylor, I liked it less and less the more I've listened to Taylor. It's not necessarily that it's bad, it's that it's grown on me the least. And I think there's a lot. I talked about loving Reputation for its consistent skipless quality, and Lover is really the opposite of that. It's really, in my opinion, carried by like multiple really, really good songs, but then it has way more skips than like every Taylor album around this era does. Like It's Nice to Have a Friend. You Need to Calm Down is okay. Me is me. I mean, I Forgot That You Existed is definitely a song that Taylor Swift released at some point. The Archer, probably the worst track 5. I mean, like, sorry to people who love The Archer. But I mean, it just, I don't know, that the era, the aesthetics are kind of cool, but I just think the album was kind of a mess. I do love Lover, don't get me wrong, but I definitely think it being Taylor's worst album besides debut is pretty true. But yeah, I still love the album. Cruel Summer, uh, I think he knows, Miss Americana, The Heartbreak Prince, Soon You'll Get Better is one of her best songs ever made. Daylight. Like, I still do love the album. I don't want to be misconstrued. I do love the album, but I do think it is way overstreamed. It should not be Taylor's most streamed album. It is kind of overhyped and it is very inconsistent. I feel like I'm talking too much crap about Lover. I promise I love Lover. I promise I don't hate Lover. It's just not as good as her other albums around this time period. So up next we got Folklore, which saved the pandemic. I wasn't there for that, unfortunately, because I wasn't listening to music at that time. But I think this is fair. Yeah, I really love Folklore. I think there's I think the first half of Folklore is maybe Taylor's best first half of any album. I do think after Illicit Affairs, the quality starts to go down a little bit, but I do still think it's a really sonically cohesive album. It's really consistent. I love the narratives in some of the songs, like Cardigan, My Tears Ricochet, Illicit Affairs, Mad Woman. It just has so many good songs in it. Honestly, I would, if I was trying to list off my favorite songs off Folklore, I would probably say like more than half the album. But I do think that some songs for me, like Peace and Epiphany, just don't work as well. I'm not saying those songs are bad. I'm just saying that they're not my favorites. And I do think some of the weak songs hold Folklore back a little bit. The Lakes being a bonus track is the biggest crime that Taylor Swift has ever committed. I don't know what that's doing as a bonus track because it's one of my favorite Taylor songs of all time. And, but I mean, yeah, I think the back half holds it back a little bit. I think if it was trimmed down to a 13 song album, it would be S plus tier. But yeah, I do love the aesthetic. Cardigan was a great music video. Unfortunately, the only one we have. But yeah, I love Folklore. And it was really just the perfect album for its era, and it definitely deserved its Grammy. Up next, we got Evermore, which, controversial, I prefer Evermore to Folklore, only slightly. I do think that Evermore is weirdly inconsistent sonically. I think I praised 1989 and Reputation for being consistent in quality. Evermore is like the opposite of that. It's kind of a mess, but it also works really well. Like there's some songs like Tolerate It that are just so piano heavy and like so melancholy that they almost sound like they are just folklore songs. But there's some songs like Closure, and Closure's the only thing that's coming to my head right now, and Marjorie, and Right Where You Left Me, that do feel distinctly different from Folklore and maybe are kind of weird. Closure is really weird, but I kind of love it for that. And there's some really interesting songs here that maybe aren't my favorite, like No Body No Crime, um Dorothea. Like those aren't my favorite songs, but I do think they're really interesting moments in Taylor's discography and a lot better than the kind of boring moments that I don't like as much in Folklore. I will say "'Tis a Damn Season," one of the best Taylor songs of all time. Coney Island, one of the best Taylor songs of all time. Cowboy Like Me, top 5 written Taylor songs of all time. It's such a good album. And I almost want to put it in S tier. Actually, I will put it in the S tier. I think that's really fair. But yeah, love folk. I love Evermore. It was done dirty on the Eras tour too. When we did not need to be cutting all those Evermore songs when we had more Folklore songs on the set list already. Yeah, "'Tis a Damn Season," best song of all time. We love Evermore. We stand Evermore. If you prefer Folklore, great. I don't. um, Next we got Midnights, and this might be kind of controversial, but move Red. Sorry, Midnights is my third favorite. Well, I don't want to spoil. Midnights is one of my favorite Taylor Swift albums. It's so weird because it's, as far as pop albums, it's really not Taylor's like most popular or most consistent album. It's also really long with the 3 a.m. edition, but I don't know why, but Midnight's is just it's attached itself to me. It's grown on me so much over time. Songs that like I didn't like or barely stood out to me at all on first listen, like Question and High Infidelity and not Maroon, but Maroon also has grown on me so much to where Maroon is probably in my top 20 Taylor songs. And it definitely wasn't for a time. I think the Eras tour, her singing it so much, might have done something to boost that a little bit. But I think the album just, it's got such a distinct sound compared to all of Taylor's other albums that I just remember, it just sticks with me. And I just love it. I mean, like it's such a vibe. Like Maroon, Antihero, all those songs are so good. I will say, yeah, saying some of my favorite songs. I've already mentioned Maroon and Antihero. You're Losing Me, arguably one of Taylor's best songs of all time. I understand why it was in the vault originally, but it's kind of a crime that it's not on a vinyl at all. Really love Paris. Really, Bejeweled I used to like it a lot more, but it's like Bejeweled, Question, Midnight Rain. You're on Your Own, Kid. How have I not even mentioned You're on Your Own, Kid? Dear Reader hits different. I mean, yeah, I will say that Labyrinth, Glitch, and the Ice Spice remix of Karma are not my favorites, but I think I'm able to excuse like 3 not as great songs on a 2021 song album once you combine all the versions compared to a 16, 17 song album. But yeah, no, I do love Midnights, and I don't know when it grew on me. I think another part of the reason why I love Midnight so much is because I'm like Reputation is my favorite album. Midnight's sonically is probably closer to Reputation than anything else. So I really do love electronic. My favorite sounds, like my favorite music genres are electronic and folk. Like folk, like acoustic guitar kind of stuff. So it kind of, I don't know, I just love electronic the most, and I think that's kind of why Reputation is so high. But yeah, I think that also influences my ranking as to why Midnight's is so high. Last, but definitely not least, we have Tortured Poets, who, even though is about to get overshadowed by The Life of a Showgirl, will not be forgotten in my heart. No, I was Tortured Poets, maybe not from day one, but from week one. I did love it when it first came out, but it had to grow on me. I had to get used to it. But my opinions on Tortured Poets have just, even the songs, every single song on that album, bar a couple exceptions, have grown on me so much and like hit at different points. Like even some songs that 5, 6, 7 months in, like Fresh Out the Slammer, I was just not giving any attention. I just thought it was kind of mid. But now Fresh Out the Slammer is like top 5 on the album. I'm Gonna Get You Back, also another one that crazy grew on me out of nowhere. Chloe or Sarah Sophia or Marcus wasn't top 10 on the first month. Is now my favorite song on the album. I think it's just got such a broad range of different topics and also different sounds. It's not like the most mainstream pop, but it has so many aspects of like even alternative rock leaning on some songs like Florida and Fortnite to like Taylor Swift bright pop with I Can Do It With a Broken Heart, and then some like folklore Evermore songs like Cassandra and Peter and the Albatross, and it just got such a range of different Taylor Swift sounds, and maybe that's why I love it so much. But yeah, it's honestly easier to list the songs I don't like here more because there's so many songs on the album. I would say Clara Bow never quite hit me as much as it seems to hit everyone else. Um, Thank You Amy is kind of unnecessary in my opinion. Robin kind of same. I don't dislike any of these songs, but they just don't hit me in a way that makes them feel essential on a 31 song album. The Manuscript I don't like as much either, but I will acknowledge that that is a great song and definitely deserves its place in the album. But yeah, I mean, like songs like Guilty as Sin, Who's Afraid of Little Me, My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys, title track, I'm Gonna Get You Back, The Black Dog, How Did It End, Chloe or Sam Sophia or Marcus. I hate it here. It's just like, wow, how did Taylor create an album that was that good and full of that many different sounds? I mean, it's just like, I could go on for days about Tortured Poets. I've listened to it so many times. It was all of my top songs last year. Um, it was like every single song on the album was in my top 50 for last year. So yeah, I've listened to it so much. I love it. And I think like as far as writing Taylor goes, there are some really weird lines here occasionally, but I do think it is one of Taylor's best written albums with some of her best songs. And I think that is a tier list. Um, yeah, I mean, I kind of already knew what my ranking was going into this, so like I kind of just built the tier list around the ranking I already had. But I do, looking at it, I do really fully agree that this is my ranking. So yeah, sorry, ignore that. Roommates being loud. But yeah, so this is what I would say is my final tier list. Thank you for watching. I will definitely be posting my The Life of a Showgirl reaction within a couple days, and I'm just so excited to go on this journey with this new album with y'all. Thanks for watching, and I will see you later. Also, if you want to see rankings of each individual album as far as like songs and stuff, let me know because I definitely would do that. I'd love to yap. But thanks for watching. Like or subscribe, or just thanks for watching. That's a lot. It means a lot to me. Bye.